Welcome to Live Readings. We read your work for free. Have you written a book? How about a poem? Or perhaps you are an artist. Do you have a small business and want me to read your mission statement? Send it all to onetruepromotion2020@gmail.com, and we will share your work with our followers and yours right here on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. Thank you for joining the show tonight. This is Live Readings. Thank you for joining us tonight, everybody. I am Alec, your host here at Live Readings with One True Promotion, and tonight we have a very fast show for you. We are going to read from two excellent authors, one a book and the other a series of poems. So we are going to dive right in with Susie Griffith, who has been following One True Promotion on Instagram for some time and was very kind to share her work with us this evening. We are going to be reading chapter 1 of her book, Dogs Hellbound. If you are watching this right now, you are watching not only on Instagram, hey Instagram, but you are also watching on Facebook, you are watching on YouTube, and you are watching on Twitch. Can everybody hear me okay? If there are any sound problems, please do write them in the comment section, and we will address them right away. Otherwise, we're going to dive right into Susie Griffith's Dogs Hellbound. So let's pull that up right now. And here we go. Bada bing. All right. Chapter 1. Bang, bang, bang. That was what I remembered last. That and pain, an odd physical and mental torture I have never been able to put into words. Excruciating, maybe, though that doesn't seem to describe it accurately. It was like being hit over and over again, feeling the bullets pierce my skin and cut through various organs only to tear through more skin. My head felt ripped in two. Rip. Split. Pop. And then came the sensation of vertigo, that twisting, gut-wrenching feeling of falling into endless white, like being submerged into light, yet at the same time, an overwhelming nothingness. Then, as if I had blinked, I was in a sea of gray fog. There were darker silhouettes of walls surrounding me with splotches of paler gray where windows and a door could be. A murmur of noise, a subtle hum, made it feel like my ears were stuffed with cotton. I knelt there, curled around my knees, gripping the sleeves of my shirt and staring into the fog. It was only for a moment, though it could have been hours, just staring. I think my brain had to catch up with the rest of me. When it did, that was when I finally snapped out of it. When a thought finally broke through the numbness I was feeling, hitting me like a ton of bricks, and somehow I knew without a doubt, without question, that this sudden knowledge was absolute fact. I was dead. That was a monumental moment, coming to terms with that. After all, that was a lot to process. Dying, being dead. A person doesn't experience that daily, and if someone did, I felt sorry for the poor bastard. But once I got over the news, I could move, realizing my death grip on my clothes and attempting to stand. That didn't go over well. My legs refused to cooperate, having gone asleep and causing me to fall back on my ass, and that stupid pins and needles feeling engulfed my lower half. I cursed a lot then. I hated that shit in life, and now I had to suffer through it in death. Give me a break. Soft laughter echoed around me, and suddenly a pale hand was outstretched in front of me, feminine, dainty, and with nails painted a sparkling purple. Unexpected. And when I followed the slender arm to the face of its owner, I found myself staring into the large, vibrant violet eyes of a petite woman whose smiling face was framed by rolling black curls. She seemed out of place among the gray fog, a splash of color with her floral sundress and bright red lips. There was an air of familiarity about her, though I couldn't place why. My confusion must have shown on my face, because the woman laughed again. It's just a hand, silly. You're supposed to take it. I blinked, looking up to her face again and blushing slightly. I could feel the slight heat on my cheeks and couldn't help but think how weird that felt. I know what a hand is. Do you? She teased, all twisted mirth, wiggling her fingers to bring my attention back to them. I furrowed my brow, thinking there was no way someone this small and delicate could pull me up. But when I looked up to tell her my thoughts on the matter, the smile was still there, as well as a look that expressed her doubt in my intelligence, her eyes daring me to see if she was as weak as I thought. I frowned and grabbed her hand, finding it oddly firm and strong. Then she was pulling me up on my feet. She was a good head shorter than me, and I couldn't help but look at her with shocked amazement as our hands dropped away. I almost blurted, "Who the hell are you?" But she beat me by speaking first. "If you're ready, it's time we head out. You've been here long enough, I think, and we don't want you to miss the boat." "What? What boat?" I asked, looking around again. Still churning, gray fog and shadowy walls. Nothing resembling a water source big enough to carry any boat, and no light source to indicate the time. I just continued to smile. She just continued to smile. "I'm here to take you to Limbo, and the ferry is waiting at the dock. You seemed a little lost, and that's no good. You don't seem the type who should be lost, so I'm here, and I'll take you there. After that, you're on your own." Seemed pretty straightforward, but still. I don't understand. Her smile changed then, still warm and friendly, but one with sympathy instead of humor. "You will." And she held out her hand once more. I looked at her hand again, filled with a mixture of emotions. Confusion, doubt, weakness, and a small piece of anger was all thrown in there. However, looking at those painted nails, something so familiar, so normal, intuition compelled me to trust, a gut feeling telling me to take a chance. Besides, I'm dead. What harm can this tiny lady and her deceptive strength really do to me? With that thought lingering in my head, I took her offered hand. An odd warmth spread from her to me this time, and when I looked at her, she was all smiles and sunshine, and I knew I had made the right choice. With her fingers linked in mine, I followed her through a door, just a patch of lighter gray among the darker blur of the wall. As we walked through the threshold, everything suddenly felt so final. Accepting I was dead, moving on. The proverbial shutting of the door on one life for the next. It was slightly depressing, but I didn't look back. As we walked, the fog that at first seemed continuous and all-engulfing began to dissipate, and things started to become clearer. I could distinguish between individual buildings, lampposts, and other objects, but there remained a strange haze about them, like looking through misted glass. The exception was the road before us, which I was being led down, all shining, slick asphalt, like after a rain, and painted yellow lines. I could hear the woman's shoes clicking on it, and the dull thud of my boots, the only clear sounds among the distant murmur of noise that followed us out of the building. Insistent, almost like the backdrop sound of a crowded room. The most disconcerting thing about the whole walk was shivers of movement around us, strange outlines of silvery light. Those were creepy. It felt like we were walking through a sea of ghosts. Maybe we were. Whatever the things were still bothered me, and I may have crept a little closer to the small woman's side. Unconsciously, of course. "Don't worry," she said, breaking the silence between us. "It's not always like this. It's just like this now because we're in between," my guide informed me, looking around with only mild interest. "Depending on the person, it can be even clearer. But I'm guessing you haven't been down this way much." "Down this way?" "Guess not," I mumbled, avoiding one of those silver linings that flashed in front of us, angling myself behind her. "So being in between means I'm not dead yet, or—" "Sorry to burst your bubble, buddy, but you're dead. Didn't you come to that conclusion earlier?" She smirked at me over her shoulder. "Yeah, but I've been wrong before. I guess I was hoping," I replied. Nothing wrong with hoping. You're still getting over the shock, that's all. You're doing a lot better than some, taking it all in stride. I like that. It's not easy accepting the fact when it's unexpected. You probably had years left in you. Would have been nice to make it past 30. My brother and I had a running bet that neither of us would see 40. Guess I lost. After another shimmer passed by us, she pulled me forward to once more walk beside her and hooked her arm in mine, giving it a reassuring pat. As they say, shit happens. "You need to work on your bedside manner, lady," I said, giving her an odd look, marveling at the ease in which she maneuvered me. Her steps hadn't even faltered. "I suppose I might." She nodded, a slender finger resting on her ruby lips in thought. "But you don't appear the type for babying or soft encouragement. I'm just playing to my audience." Her head tilted up to look me in the eye with that cocky, know-it-all smile once more in place, vibrant eyes daring me to say she was wrong. I knew she wasn't. Never liked being fussed over, and I hated being treated like I was stupid or a child, even though my intelligence could be questionable at times, and childishness could come and go. I should have found it strange that she knew me so well. But like before, with my sudden awareness of being dead, I knew who she was without question. The sudden knowledge gave me goosebumps. "You're deaf," I stated, and her hand felt very cold against my arm with those words. "One of them, yes." She gave me her other hand to shake and introduce herself. "Name's Christy." "One of them?" After an awkward little shake, I returned with, "Michael." "Michael, eh? Well, nice to meet you, Michael." "Likewise, Christy. By the way, where's your cowl and scythe?" "I only wear black on Wednesday. And I could break a nail carrying around a scythe." She winked. I gave an amused snort, then looked around again, and noticed some of the buildings were becoming clearer, their details less misty and abstruse. It reminded me of when I was 7 and received glasses for the first time, though the prescription wasn't quite perfect yet. Some things kept that gray, distorting haze, especially objects and buildings far in the distance. What I could see had my head spinning around in slight disbelief as I began to recognize places, shops, and familiar street names. And as we crossed the street, one of those silvery shimmers of light that I had been avoiding caught my attention. It had more substance, and as I stared harder at it, I began to distinguish features. A hand waved above a balding head and earnest face. 2 others passed by us, one with braided hair and swishing skirt, while the smaller one smiled brightly up at the other, a little upturned nose and huge eyes. There were more and more silvery outlines with recognizable features, and I blurted without thinking, "They're people!" Chrissy nodded. "Yup. The living, to be precise. Told you things would become clearer." "The living?" I asked, watching another person standing on a corner who walked across the sidewalk as the signal changed. So my ghost theory was close to the mark. I just forgot that, technically, I was a ghost. "Mm-hmm. Do they feel us? I mean, if we accidentally pass through them or something?" I asked while trying to avoid a group of girls in matching school uniforms who chatted excitedly as they walked right through us. "Sometimes," Christy smiled, watching me with amusement. "You shouldn't concern yourself with it. Not something you'll have to deal with after today." "And that means?" I raised an eyebrow, finding her cryptic nature slightly unsettling. "You'll see," she replied. Green eyes filled with a mischievous gleam, obviously enjoying my unease. It's easier to see than to completely explain, and more entertaining. Besides, I'm bad at explaining how the whole mess works. I'll leave that to the professionals. "Professionals, huh?" Her lips curled upward into her customary grin. "You'll see. You're halfway there." She pointed in front of us, and there was a building without that strange misty haze, nestled between 2 similar structures. It looked like a set of strip mall office buildings. One building had a sign I recognized for a chain of dentists, while another had scissors and a comb, with a swirling red and white barbershop pole. The building Chrissy had painted to had no signs or other distinctive markings that stated their purpose from their neighbors. I didn't get a sense of foreboding or sense of welcome. It was rather anticlimactic, really. Christy said while unlinking our arms, "And this is where we part ways. It's been a pleasure meeting you, Michael." I turned to her, shocked. "What? I thought you were taking me to a boat." "You need to listen better, buddy. I said I was taking you to Limbo. The ferry is waiting for you on the other side." Christy laughed. "Silly boy." "Really? This is Limbo? You're joking." I looked at the building again with disbelief. "There's no way." "Well, there's only one way to find out, isn't there?" she teased. "It's not that bad, really." I grimaced, wrinkling my nose. "Easy for you to say." Christy huffed, putting her hands on her hips and planting her feet apart in a determined stance. "Am I really going to have to walk you through those doors like a child and hold your hand through the whole business? I thought you were made of tougher stuff." I snorted. "Whatever. You barely know me." She lifted a slim black eyebrow in a wordless question of, "Wanna bet?" We had a brief staring match before I sighed, knowing I was only delaying the inevitable and not really knowing why. This was one step in the process of death, wasn't it? When I was younger, I remember reading a few legends and stories about this. Limbo and the ferry. I'll admit I hadn't been paying attention. I had been bored and found a book filled with pictures to distract me until my uncle pulled me away to more important things. I should have looked at that book closer, or at least read through it again. Fine, I said, before walking toward the glass door. As I grabbed the black metal handle, Christy called out, "Michael?" I looked back at her, curious, and she gave me an encouraging smile. "Good luck." And then, as abruptly as she had appeared, she was gone. Wow, that was awesome. And that was from author Suzanne Griffith. Thank you so much. I see you watching on Facebook. Thank you so much for sharing your work with us tonight. That is very, very well written and very fascinating too. I absolutely loved it. I would love to read the whole book. If you enjoyed that story from Suzanne Griffith, you can follow her at Susie at smgriffith-author.com, or hold on, let me pull up my screen here. You can follow her at smgriffith_author on Instagram. And that is just one of the two stories we have for tonight. So thank you very much for watching the show with us thus far. Thank you again, Miss Griffith. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for supplying that story. It was absolutely amazing. And yeah, it was a pleasure to read. So, and now, my friends, for the next part of our show, whoops, give me 1 minute here. Let me see what's up next. Please enjoy this promo for our Thursday live stream, Drop a Line, where you can receive a free interview to promote your book, business, or brand. See you in just a minute. And we are back on live readings. Thank you for watching with us so far. We just heard a story by author S.M. Griffith. And I would just like to thank you all for being here tonight. We have a great team here at One True Promotion who work behind the scenes to ensure that our posts and live streams bring you quality engagement. For that reason, I would love it if you would help me thank our members by supporting them. Our creative consultant, Carey, is on Spotify, Anchor, and Apple Podcasts to bring you Tangible Voices. In Carey's own words, Tangible Voices is a space where true voices from the past and present can be uncovered, shift our perspective, and resonate with our lives today. I love Tangible Voices. If you're inquisitive, if you love history, if you want to have detailed conversations about our society, Tangible Voices is a must listen. While listening, please follow the podcast so the community can grow. Our Director of Arts and Media, Nicholas Georgel, is a regular on Writing Sprints, engaging fans of One True Promotion with his live drawing sessions. In addition to his terrific art, he's also a writer. Please buy his book, Life is Death, The Death of Earth. If you're an anime fan, you will love this book. Like his featured art, Nick's book is a sharp, colorful delve into conflicts, both social and existential, as a fiery experience with grief suddenly spreads into so much more. This book had me hooked from page one, and not many books can do that for me. Interested in meeting Nick? Follow him on Facebook at Nicholas Georgel Arts or on Instagram at Nick_Geo_Arts. Our Chief Operating Officer, Andrew Bast, is the author of Sanguinary Song, co-founder of One True Promotion, and a YA myth. Andrew, the co-founder of One True Promotion, our Chief Operating Officer, is the author of Sanguinary Song, which is a YA mythological action novel. Andrew is the co-founder and visionary here at One True Promotion. He is currently engaging his avid readers right now on his Instagram profile with the Sanguinary Song Character Reveal campaign, where you get to create your own character and hunt down mythological killers right in your Instagram inbox. So I've been playing this game with Andrew for weeks, and so have his fans. He has sold over 100 copies of Sanguinary Song, by the way. It's that good. The creatures are that diverse, the myth is that fascinating and complex, and the characters are that good. You can create your own character with their own powers, whatever your favorite pop culture nerd power is, and you can join him on a quest to hunt down the occult. We are currently heading into week 4. Actually, no, we might be at the end of week 4. Yes, we are in week 4. I so apologize. But anyway, Andrew has been doing the story prompts for weeks on his story and on his general posting section in Instagram. And as soon as you comment on the story and you say, what you want to do, he DMs you the rest of the story. And basically you get to choose your own adventure, and he writes you what happens in the story after you make each of your choices. It's just the coolest thing ever. I've never seen a social media campaign quite like this. It is fun. It's as fun and engaging as a book is to read. And it's for free, and it's happening right now at Andrew Bass 24. If you are interested in supporting that, then please do check him out. And if you're impressed with his work and you're impressed with these social media campaigns and you want to stay hooked in, he also has writing sprints every Friday from 8 to 10 p.m. Need an extra push to get your writing or homework done? Tune into Writing Sprints, where Andrew writes his book in 15-minute sprints. Want to be a guest on the show? Reach out to us at onetruepromotion2020@gmail to secure your spot on the next episode of Writing Sprints. You can join us live and work on your book, work on your art, work on whatever you want, your homework for college, and you can just have an art discussion with us while we're there, and you can take part in our writing prompts. Andrew does writing prompts on Writing Sprints. So if you don't have a book you want to bring on your own, you can just join us for the prompts and write one of the 6 prompts he does in all of the sprints. Writing sprints are every Friday, 8 to 10. They are so much fun. I've been on multiple times. Nick Geo has been on. So many people have been on. Writing sprints are just the best. We are going to play you a little promo for Writing Sprints on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch in just a moment. But please do follow us all, buy and review our books. Reviews are vital to an author's success, and the more we succeed, the more promotion we can do for you. The more money we have, the more success we have, the more outreach, the more we can book people on the shows, the more we can just get these shows out to the community and present you with free opportunities to promote yourself right here on the social medias. So thank you for being with us thus far. Here's a quick promo for Writing Sprints. And we are back. Thank you so much for being a part of live readings. And now we're going to dive into our next feature, which is our very own creative consultant, Carey Walden. And she has been participating with me in a very wonderful morning routine called Dyad Daily Poems. A little bit of background. Carey and I are boyfriend and girlfriend. We have been for the past year. And we frequently joke to each other that we are a dyad. If you're a Star Wars fan and you saw the most recent movie where the 2 main characters played by Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver are considered a Force dyad, something that I wasn't really into, personally, but humorously, Carey and I always say that we are a dyad because the Force keeps bringing us together at random parts of every day. So Carey had the idea to name our poem series we've been doing together Dyad Daily Poetry, and you can find them on both of our Instagram accounts and Facebook accounts every morning in the what do they call that? The daybreak hour? I don't know, but I get up every morning and I walk the dog and I do a poem. But anyway, Carey has arranged some of her poems for reading tonight on live reading. So without further ado, we are going to dive right into some work by our wonderful creative consultant and podcaster, Carey Walden. This first poem is called Another Form of Life. Life, for me, is not walking, errands, or dreaming. I am not like you, who ponders where to go from here. I cannot ponder, and I cannot go. That is fine for me. Life, for me, is sunlight's core that touches mine, water, and its fulfillment. You do not recognize my deep work, moving with the air as far as I can go, living inside music, and I sing my own. Life, for me, is also giving what is inside me, will calm and nourish you. You have known this for many reasons, because I always must reach, reach, reach. The joy is in the reaching, and in the event I sense a presence like mine, reaching too. I extend until I find them. When I do, we rest upon each other and continue. That was Another Form of Life. This next one is Carve. It is an odd task to create what gets consumed, 40 minutes of intangible, often not reused. So we carve a time to create our heart's delight. This is something we can hold. Next day's joys airtight. For my fellow creator teachers, our students need our light. And that was Carve. And this last one is called, oh, there's two more actually, sorry. This next one is called Been Here Since 1619, another personal haiku. Before I go out, I've learned to prepare myself, to defend my life. My life and history matters. And that has been here since 1619, a personal haiku. Love facing hard times. It all just makes sense. It's better than mushy feels. It's I'm here with you. And those are Carey's poems so far for Dyad Daily Poetry. Thank you so much, Carey, for supplying those poems tonight. I am so glad that I had the chance to read them live. And thank you for being a part of live readings this evening. I hope that you can catch the show afterwards. So that's about it. All we have for tonight, everybody. Next week, we will be reading more from Nick Geo and a couple other authors. I'm sure will be submitting their work. But please spread the word about live readings. Let people know that there's a show where they can have their work read for free. And if you sent me something tonight and you want to send me the next chapter, or you want to send me a list of poems, or you free write something and you just want to send that along next week, you can send whatever you want to onetruepromotion2020@gmail. Whatever we receive, we'll just add to the lineup. If we overfill, we'll add it to next week's lineup. Just send us stuff and we will arrange it nice and organized, and we'll let you know when it's on. Since we typically don't get, huge volumes of work all at once, if you send us something, there is a high guarantee it will be featured in that week's show. And that's all I have for everybody tonight. Thank you for watching live readings. I am Alec. I represent One True Promotion. I am the director of broadcasting, and I am the author of Barker's Rules. If you would like to buy Barker's Rules, you can just visit my Instagram profile and click the link under my profile picture. It'll take you straight there. You can get a $12 paperback. You can get a $3 ebook. It can be delivered straight to you or downloaded right onto your device, and you can just start reading. The Meridian Trilogy is almost complete, and I would love for you to be a part of the journey. This was Live Readings, everybody. Thank you so much for being a part of the show tonight. I am Alec, and I will see you next week.